make sure that you are there 365 days of the year. Maybe your birthday, but it's someone's anniversary.
And if there is one man that you could say has played Monopoly with the whole of India.
I've played Monopoly quite a bit and I tell that to my brother only. Build a hotel there, build one train station here, build a hospital there. We don't know.
Let's say you could be 21 again and if you were to start a business today, like what kind
I'll
of...
tell you.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Backbenchers Podcast. Today, we have the man himself in our favorite industry, real estate. We're joined by Rezwan Razack, the Joint Managing Director of the Prestige Group. And sir, I'm going to start off the podcast by asking you the most important question. Were you a backbencher in school and college?
Actually, truly speaking, no, in every sense I was a backbencher because I'm going to tell you something that many people don't know. The first year that I joined college, which was in 1972, I passed out in 75. The first year, I attended 7 classes in that year. 7 hours. When I say 7 classes, 1 for each subject. And the next year was 3 and the following year was only 1, the first class. So the rest of the time was spent on Brigade Road because, they moved the college from Double Road to Brigade Road.
Yes, sir.
And that was quite a thing that, used to spend time at Koshi's.
Yeah.
There was a Koshi's and Breeze on Brigade Road which had a jukebox. That's where the time was spent. And morning shows on Fridays, etc. But thankfully, we were asked that you can take off. We'll give you the attendance because we got the attendance that was needed. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to do the exam. I must also let you know that I got the second rank in the state in the second year. Yeah, just attending 2 classes or 3 classes in the whole year.
So which was your favorite song and movie?
Actually, there was nothing such as a favorite song in movie. It's just that we got a break from school because we were regimented in school. Here you had the freedom to go do what you want.
Yes, sir.
I had a scooter at those days, a Lambretta scooter. So I used to leave home, come here, meet up with some friends, then walk up to Brigade Road or sometimes go there, go for movie. We had Imperial, which is no more now, and Plaza, Rex, all these places. Mostly we would do more English movies than Hindi movies.
Yes.
And at that time, I think the Bridge over the River Kwai was quite a hit. And then there was a movie called The Party.
Okay.
Peter Sellers, I don't know. No, not Peter Sellers. Yeah, Peter Sellers. You should watch it.
Definitely, sir. So again, I think going to Brigade Road is something that we still do. So aside from Koshi's, which other places? How was Brigade Road back then?
No, Brigade Road was very nice. There was also two more things. One was Hotel Breeze,
Okay.
and which is Monarch now, just now.
Yes, sir.
And we also had two snooker thing. One was the snooker club on Brigade Road corner of Church Street, and we had greens on top of MG Road, the corner where the what is that called? Anyway, it'll come back.
Yeah. So, and again, speaking of Rex, back then, did you ever imagine that you'd be redeveloping this entire place?
Never, because it never had in mind. Because I was in the shop. We had a store in Commercial Street called Prestige, and I was working there already. Because I was before joining, I finished my senior Cambridge in 1971, and that was around November, December. Then I was asked to go and take over the store at Commercial Street. Until June for 6 months, I was doing full day duty. That once the college started, it was going to the shop from the college after it finishes, come and work here till 8:39. So we never had that luxury of. So I think that's the time when you got in the morning, you used to bunk college and do all these things.
So you've worked pretty much your entire life then, from your college days itself.
That's right. I started work 1971,
Okay.
and I've been still working now.
That's
It is
amazing.
54 years.
So how do you find the energy to do so much?
No, it's motivation. No, it's motivation to do work. It's motivation to start the day, look forward for something. And if you enjoy what you're doing, then you get the energy that you need.
Sir, as a student, were your visions for your future different than what they came out?
Oh, the student's vision at that time was only to have fun.
So we're not doing anything wrong then.
No, you're not. Because I'll tell you one thing, and I also advise you, because this is the time when you can enjoy yourself. Because once you get responsible, then you don't have time for yourself. I always wanted to sit under the coconut tree and drink pineapple juice. I'm still not able to do it.
So then, you used to spend a lot of time in your father's shop, and then, how did you venture into real estate exactly?
So it was by accident. What happened in '75, we opened another store in Majestic called Prestige Textiles in Abhinay Theatre Complex. So I used to go there. Then 1978, I got married. My father-in-law was a real estate agent. So I used to be with at the house more often than I was in my house. Anyway, the school was there, and the motivation was my wife. Because, to be there. Then in 81, I bought a site in Koramangala. Not Koramangala, I bought a site for myself. We sold our ancestral property.
Okay.
And we got money. My dad gave half of his to my older brother Irfan and half to me. He said, go get yourself land and build your own houses and you can get out from home. So I went and bought something. But strangely, my father-in-law, that was done on an instant. It was done in an impulse. The same afternoon it was bought. When I went and showed him, he said, no man, you done the wrong thing. It was Nandidud Road. He says there is a corporation dump 200 yards from here and it's not nice for you to stay in this locality. I think best is to sell it off and then try and buy something else. In the bargain, I made 75,000.
Wow.
In those days, I'm talking of 1981,
Yeah.
which we would not make 75,000 for the whole year sitting in that shop, Prestige Textiles. The net profit was not more than. So I used to go at 9 and come back at 9, 365 days of the year, no holiday, and 75,000. Here you bought something and within 1 month you got 75. So I said we are in the wrong business. So we started trading into property. So most of the things we did was buy and sell property in Koramangala.
Okay.
Koramangala was the place where we bought and sold, and then slowly from selling we got into construction. 88 was the first one, I think, in Double Road, Prestige Court.
So how was the transition like from a textile business to real estate?
It was not. There was no transition. It was also doing it.
Okay.
It was not that you left that and went to something else. You didn't leave that woman and went to another woman. No, she was also there. This is also there. But slowly, what happened is that when the thing got more, we got busy, and there was time that we had to leave it. Then my younger brother took charge.
Okay.
He took charge, and then we moved and started this. It's only when we started doing the construction business that we had to move.
So usually amongst three siblings, there's always like a different sibling dynamic. They say the youngest one is very pampered, the oldest one is supposed to be responsible. The middle ones they say are the best usually. What did you feel like was the dynamic?
It's exactly what you said. There's no difference at all. The youngest one is the most pampered and he enjoys life.
Yeah.
The oldest one is the most responsible, very strict. His phone number is 111.
Okay.
So I always tell people that you call 100 in case of fire.
Yes, sir.
And you call 111 in case you want to be fired.
So did you feel that sibling dynamic came in the business also?
Not really, because we've been together as a family, and we're still together as a family. And whatever we do together. We don't find any difference. In the office, there is a definite division of work that has happened. The older one, my brother Irfan, handles the finance and making sure that money comes in, and sales, etc. I take care of the contracts and purchase. So I do all the spending, he does all the bringing the money. So
So Aman mentioned to me that again a lot like you spend a lot of your time visiting the construction site, supervising and like ensuring that the work is getting done. And usually after a certain point, like when someone reaches your level of success, I think that's something we all aspire to do one day. We always think, we're going to retire and we're just going to relax. How do you manage to do it?
now see, we started this. It's a kind of a ritual that we started. That on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we visit all our sites.
Okay.
Earlier it used to be every week. Now we visit our sites on Tuesdays, Wednesdays in rotation. So maybe one site comes because the volume has increased a lot. Happens in rotation, and I think that has become something that now we enjoy going to the site.
Yeah.
And it's now 40 years, and we've done more than 300 developments, and maybe nearly 200 million square feet is done. We are also in other cities in India, 7-8 cities in India, including now we're going to start in Delhi NCR, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Ooty, Goa, Bangalore. But the thing is, I don't travel to these cities other than for inaugurations and completions.
So do you feel that there's a difference now and in the time that you started, that when you look at a property, at that time there was nervousness, but now you have a certain degree of confidence?
100%, because there's nervousness because everything was unsure. Now we are sure of what we're doing.
Yeah.
And now earlier we would go and see the property. Now we don't even have time to see the property. Somebody does it for you, and you already know that. Know that. So it's only now that even the property finalization happens with Mr. Irfan and not me. I am the guy that makes sure that the work at site happens and all the contracts are awarded, purchase happens, and I got my son Faiz versus me in this as well.
So I have a question going back to the development of Bangalore. I feel like if you look at like the way Bangalore is developed and the way our parents have told us, like most of it, like most of the buildings in CBD or across Bangalore, they always have they all have a prestige logo there. Like how did that start?
No, because we only knew CBD.
Okay.
We didn't know anything beyond CBD. It's only very recently, maybe 4-5 years ago, that we moved away from CBD, gone to Whitefield, gone to Bangalore North, Bangalore South, etc., etc. But otherwise, we were a CBD focused property, because in our head, CBD was Bangalore.
So were you the one who came up with the Falcon logo?
Not really. What happened is, when we were in Commercial Street, we had a store called the Raymond Retail Shop,
Okay.
which was where the Rakra Sport was below. But now it's moved to opposite Prestige, the Raymond Retail Shop. We had one guy, when we started this business, we needed a visiting card, maybe in 82, 83, I think. So he came up with he said, sir, you need to get a logo, and he said, we're going to give you a Prestige Group. I didn't understand what group meant in those days, but he said, you won't understand it now. In time it will tell you where you have. He was an Anglo-Indian gentleman working, and then I think the logo stuck, and to our luck, it has. We have done well.
Is there any correlation between that logo and your passion for bird photography?
No, not at all. Not at all. I was playing golf,
Okay.
and I did for 25 years. Then I think in 2010 I started writing a book on Indian paper money.
Yes, sir.
And that went on for 2 years. In the bargain, I lost my friends who played golf. And then post the book, I developed a backache, sciatica. So I couldn't go play golf anyway. So I said, the best thing is when you get up in the morning, what do? Irritate your wife at home? Or go and take some pictures. So I said, let me take the camera and go and take some pictures.
So which is your favorite bird?
The two-legged one, like tiara. What's the name?
Tiara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite bird.
So the timeline that you gave us, that you graduated college in 75, by 81 you were buying land, by 82 you were establishing a business. Do you feel like that's even possible in today's world? Because
Anything is possible. It's only that you have to make up your mind.
Hmm.
Only in those days, you needed less money to do it. Now the money required to do your business is a lot more. That's why they call it startups and funding, and you have all these names.
Yes.
But in our days, we never had any such thing. It was only your integrity that helped. And then we had a backing of people that would come leave money with you and say, okay, give it to me before it's even ready, which is quite a big responsibility, taking someone's money and making sure that even before it's ready, it gets done.
So, were there any moments where you felt like this is too much for me to handle? I think I would
Actually, it is not that. You don't feel that at all.
So the
Sometimes there are stresses
Yeah.
where you feel, it's time to hang up your boot, but then that's only momentarily. Then it doesn't. It just continues because it's a cascading effect. You're running the engine and you have to keep running because you can't stop now.
Yes, sir. So what is your framework as such to deal with failures when they come across you? How do you deal with them as such?
See, I tell you, there's a very nice thing about failure. See, you have to fail in life. It's only when you fail that you know what success means. If you don't fail and you're only succeeding, then you don't know what it means to be successful. So when failure happens, you have to take it in your stride and make sure that you work harder to overcome that failure and make it into a success. And it's not that we have not failed; we have also failed. We have also learned our lessons, and then we've moved ahead.
So could you tell us a few lessons that you've learned from these failures?
No, I'll tell you. The lessons, more than lessons, I'll tell you a few things that you need to look at most important.
Yes.
One is honesty, integrity, and people should learn to trust you. Trust is something that can be broken in a second. It can take years to build and take seconds to break it. So as a rule, as a principle between our family, we don't do anything that is illegal. We don't do anything that can cause us shame later or the trust goes. So I think if you have this in mind and you do things sincerely, you can't fail.
So at what point did you feel that you've developed an instinct that you can rely on at all times during the business?
In what way?
In the way that you know that what you're doing is right or will potentially lead to more growth.
See, that is very hard to say because you don't believe that you only look at things one at a time and say that okay, I bought this land, I want to do a mall here and I hope it will succeed. For example, the first mall of the country really was on a swamp on Koramangala, okay, which is the Forum Mall. And a lot of people said that there is no footfall, which is the truth. Because you only have to reach there by road. There was no traffic, no footfall, there was no pedestrians walking. He said that's a sure shot, it's going to go. But it was the gut and determination that it will succeed, it succeeded. For some reason it didn't succeed, we only have to change that from a mall to an office building or a hotel or whatever. But it was a chance that you have to take. But then after doing that, the whole of India is following. I've done malls. Now we're doing another. Now we got 4 new ones. We had earlier 10 which we sold, 4 new ones, and another 6 are getting built.
Wow. So I have a question. So when you started off in construction, there were not many, like when anybody starts a business, they usually look at the greats before them. They try to replicate their blueprint. When you started off, was there anybody you looked at?
No, there wasn't like that because there was not many people in the construction business. But there were a couple of earlier. There were some stalwarts were there. I'm not saying they weren't, but they had a better head start than us. But only unfortunately they didn't continue. They stopped somewhere and they gave up. And only thing is that we persisted and we have reached where we've reached. And it didn't stop with just building homes. We do homes, we do offices, we do IT, we do hospitality, a lot of hotels,
Yes, sir.
malls, plots, the works. So it's just that we have a bouquet of things that we are doing. So if one thing doesn't work, something else is working.
So after so many years of being in this industry, in all the projects that you mentioned, which are the ones that excite you?
See, the one that excites, or not excites, has excited us is, for example, this structure itself.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
This is our own, in the sense that we had an office prior to this. 5 years back, we moved from there to here, Falcon House on Main Guard Crossroad. That wasn't a building, so we wanted to make a statement to say that this is how people should come and say, wow, this is how it can be done. So we took it upon ourselves to do something that such a building doesn't exist anywhere. A lot of people from not only India, from overseas, when they come, they get actually intimidated when they see this.
I think we too
Yeah.
slightly.
I remember the first time, I think in 2023, I'd come to the museum. And so when I just heard of this museum, I thought, oh, it's just going to be a normal museum. I didn't realize it's going to be in this kind of building. The moment I entered, I'm like, wait, what is this place?
So do you have a passion for interiors as well?
No, we have, because that's our job. You have to be good. But what happened is the interiors for this office, I was solely in charge.
Okay.
And I know every screw that went in. Even if they had to do a screw, it had to be showed to me before it was done. The design was done together with my brother, and the execution I got done myself without any interference from anyone.
So how much of an importance do you think being hands-on, like how much of an importance do you give on being hands-on?
No, importance is that without being hands-on, no, you can't succeed. Just can't succeed. So if you think you can start a restaurant and hand it over to someone to run it, it will run, but then it will collapse at some point. So if you're going to do a restaurant, make sure that you are there 365 days of the year, and make sure that the work happens, and you have to be hands-on. It may be your birthday, but it's someone's anniversary. They're coming to celebrate in your restaurant.
So then how do you draw the line between doing it yourself and delegating?
No, it has to be done. You also have to do, you also have to delegate, because all you can't do. But only thing is then, the strings have to be in your control.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So I have a theory. When, always in any work that you do or delegate, there will be a problem, and the problem needs to get solved. So I always tell those guys that if you have a problem, it's fine. But you do one thing. First, try and solve it yourself. If you can't, don't pick up the phone and ask. Send a message. Then send an email. Still can't be solved, let's meet. But when you come to meet, come with 3 solutions.
Yeah.
Either I'll take one of the 3 solutions, or I'll throw them off and give you the 4th one. Because that way they are able to think for themselves.
Yes, sir.
So how do you feel that you empower an employee? Like how do you make sure that they're also thinking in a very entrepreneurial way?
No, they have been taught, they've been handed over sink or swim, nothing that. Sink or swim, but they have to report. We have a good reporting method, and we take stock of it every week, once a week.
Okay.
We meet and we take that. It's a learning, and it's jointly. The meeting happens jointly. In that, your failures he's hearing so that he won't make a mistake. His success you are hearing so that you take whatever good points he's done and he carries on with it.
So I have a question regarding, like, if you look at it, like if you look at today, a lot of people keep complaining about government regulations. But back in the 90s and 80s, the government regulations were enormous. How did you operate and how do you navigate?
No, the government regulations have been there, and will be there.
Yes, sir.
So I think without which you can't. You have to have a good relationship with the government machinery, right from the big daddies, the politicians, to the bureaucrats. You need to have a good relationship. And also what happens is, even the bureaucrats and politicians know more about you than you know about myself. Like, for example, before meeting me, you've done your research and you're sitting here and talking.
Yes.
They do more research. They know exactly what's happening. And they know more what wrong you've done than more right you've done. So what happens is that they believe that, these people won't do anything wrong. That is the kind of message they have from the subordinates and the people around them, that Sir Prestige will not do anything garbar. they follow the rules, they follow the thing. So what happens is they respect you for that. And if there is any work that we go for, it gets done because of this.
So speaking of that, how do you manage? Like you mentioned a point again about honesty and truthfulness. In today, there's a lot of people who keep chasing that quick buck.
It will make it. It will make the quick buck, but it's only temporary. It won't happen for long. The quick buck stops somewhere, and then the downfall starts. So it's very hard. It took us years to reach where we reached, and then it's only they are rolling on the dice now.
So how were you at that time understanding and deciding between what is a quick buck and what is genuine in terms of projects?
No, we always did things the hard way. We didn't do things the easy way at all, never. So everything was difficult from day one, and we persisted on this course.
So what was your father's reaction again? Because you had the textile business. What was his reaction when you went up?
He actually was quite perplexed. He couldn't believe that something can happen because they were very old school, and he was also very conservative. Okay, when we were kids, we used to get 2 pairs of shoes in a year. One was the white canvas shoes, and one was the black shoe for the school, which you had to wear otherwise as well. And they were bought not from Bata's on Commercial Street, but Bata's on the second shop on Old Powers Road. So we came up with that kind of upbringing, even though he had the money, but we were told to value things. Never got a car. We were always on a 2-wheeler. Car came much later. Maybe just before I got married, I think. I bought my first car then.
So I have a series of questions for you. So the first one is, would you call yourself a true Bangalore boy?
Absolutely. Born here, bred here, and also it's going to be my LRP. You know what LRP is? Last resting place.
Okay.
So
sir, is that why the passion for the masala dosa comes?
Yeah. Masala dosa is my favorite. Actually, South Indian food is my favorite food. In South Indian, masala dosa is there, idli, vada. These are the 3 things that I crave for. I used to do golf, and then bird photography. Now I got a group that does Sunday morning breakfast.
Okay.
Sunday morning breakfast, and we go and choose the most difficult restaurants where you need to stand outside for hour or 2, like Vidyarthi Bhavan. So now, if you don't want to stand outside, then you become friends with the owner. Then you get a bypass. And you get the dosa in his office. CTR. Then there is another. So all these places I do, and Rameshwar.
Yes, sir.
And I make sure that I get their numbers, connect to them, so that whenever we go there, we are not waiting at all.
So is this a strategy you learned from business, or was it the other way around?
No, it's because of the fact that I don't like to. I'm happy to pay for the food,
yes, sir.
But I'm not happy to wait for the food. Yeah, that's all it is. And then we go in a group of 4 or 6 every Sunday. We decide where to go, and then I've discovered many places. So you said I have a surprise for you. You got a dosa, and you said where it is from.
Yes, sir.
And I told you where it was from just by looking and not even just by the packing I could tell.
Yes, sir.
So we could call you almost, a food connoisseur of South Indian food now.
Yes, and I should actually maybe tie up with you guys and start a food blog.
So 100%.
On where to get the best South Indian food in Bangalore. And I can tell you every place. I think I've done more than 600 or 800 restaurants.
Wow.
Well, we never went to the same place twice. Always try to find a new one.
So can we start off with a small section of that now? Yeah. What would your top 5 dosa places be?
Like a tier list.
I'll tell you. See, the Janardhan.
Yeah.
Then you have CTR, which is in Malleshwaram, Vidyarthi Bhavan. Then you have, I would rate Rameshwaram a little lower.
Okay.
I think a lot of people feel that.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. It is their food is too good actually. It's very nice. It's just that there's a differentiation. Even Chalukya is one of the things that is nice because they use the red masala inside.
Yeah.
So do you miss the old Chalukya?
The same thing. This is the old Chalukya only. This is the
No, I
old
mean the
Chalukya.
one- the one
Correct.
that
I miss it. Then you got your airlines.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You got your airlines. These are probably the ones that you would, because airlines was a place I would go there maybe once a week. But now because of these choices that are there,
Yes, sir.
there is a chicken or tiffin room.
Yeah,
Yes,
chicken
sir.
are very interesting.
Where?
We love that. That's Kumara Park, right?
No,
No,
Kumara Park is the one
Umesh.
before that. No, both.
Kumara
Umesh is
Park.
also there, Kumara Park is there. But there is a chicken that's opened in,
I think, right?
is there in Nagaratpet.
Okay.
Yeah. There's one Sanman also there.
Okay.
Correct. Sanman is also very nice. That is in
Yeah.
Sheshatripuram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you had Naveen dosa?
Yes.
Yeah, it's in Commercial Street. I think
Correct.
that's your famous for. So yeah, so they give you dosa on like this plank,
Okay.
like a wooden plank, and
Correct.
they give you the softest dosa first.
Correct.
So what is your opinion on cheese on dosa, gold on
No,
dosa?
that's not for me.
So 99
I just
varieties of
prefer.
dosa.
No. Those are not. Those are not. That's okay. That's for people that come from out of town.
Yes, sir.
One of the things also I do is when you have guests that come from anywhere out of Bangalore.
Yes, sir.
It could be from anywhere in India or anywhere from overseas. One lunch is for sure in Nagarjuna
Okay.
on the banana leaf. They get fascinated, and really it is nice to take them for this
Sir, Nagarjuna or Meghnad's?
Nagarjuna.
The meals.
Yeah,
Is it? Yeah.
because Nagarjuna, of course, Meghna also has, but Nagarjuna has the atmosphere, the thing. Plus, the advantage with Nagarjuna is that along with your Yelle Uta, you have the non-veg as well because the Madus don't have that.
I go there and I have my paneer biryani.
So which is your favorite non-vegetarian food?
Actually, I eat everything.
Okay.
Chinese cuisine is also very nice. And one of the things that I would recommend to all is to try the Thai omelette in Indiranagar, in the
Okay.
Thai restaurant.
Say which
house.
restaurant?
Thai house.
Thai house.
In Indiranagar, the Thai omelette. They deep fry their egg, that becomes very crunchy.
Yes, sir.
And they add the crab in that.
Okay. What's the most exotic food you've eaten? Like the
So I've eaten everything, especially when you traveled to Africa. We went to Carnivore and tried all the game meat as well.
okay.
Okay.
I think now moving on to another passion of yours, the most important and most renowned one, currency notes. So how did that start?
Oh, that started, I think, when I was in Standard 7, St. Joseph's.
Okay.
And it was something that was purely by accident because, you didn't make a choice to collect it.
Yeah.
Something that got you attracted to it. There's a situation where the note it was the Reserve Bank of India note, and it had Pakistan note payment refused. And we couldn't figure out how it can be a Pakistan note when it's Reserve Bank of India. Where is Pakistan and where is Reserve Bank of India? The connection was not there. No one was able to answer it because at the time there was no Mr. Google was missing. No AI, no one to answer. There was nothing in books. I tried finding out. And finally, I think it came to know that was when we became independent. They were also using the same British India notes like we were using,
Yes.
they were using. And they didn't have their own money when they partitioned. So what they did was they overprinted the same British India note with Reserve Bank of India with Government of Pakistan and Hukumat of Pakistan in Urdu.
Okay.
So somebody has gone and, they have moved from Pakistan to India those days. And what they have done is when they came here, they said the best thing, it's the same like how your note is, which is being used here. Only thing is got a overprint. So what they did was they took a blade and removed it. But little knowing that, those notes that were made for Pakistan were recorded with a prefix and a number. So that's why the rubber stamp, Pakistan note payment refused. And there were also a lot of notes with my granddad in his safe because they never banked money and which he hadn't used them. So they gave it to me. It became a nice starter's collection.
So you started collecting from the 7th grade.
Correct, 7th standard, yes. I was.
So, would you collect notes throughout, or did it start towards the later part of your life?
No, it started there. Then I went to Uti. My mom's sister's husband, uncle, what you say.
Yes.
We used to go there once a month because we were very naughty when we were in school, so they had to get rid of us somehow. So she used to say, go to Uti. Kunur is where they stayed. Used to go to their house and stay there. So they had tea estates, Barliar.
Yeah.
That is on the way from Kunur down towards Metupalyam. Anyway, they had a nice office in an old little villa, and he had a desk, one British desk. He opened one day, I saw a lot of these notes coming out from his drawer. I said, man, these are mine. I collect now. I also have. So he said, okay, you have it. So actually these two put together made a good starter kit, and and actually till the year 2000 when internet came in. It's only after internet came in then the thing became more, because that's when the awareness got more. We knew there was something called eBay, there were auction houses.
Yes.
And I would go to these cut note dealers. I don't know if you know what a cut note dealer is.
Can you tell us?
Okay, they're still around. If you have got a damaged or a note that is cut,
Yeah.
it's either half note or damaged. You can go to the Reserve Bank and change it, and they give you the full refund for that.
Okay.
They replace it. But these dealers, what they do is they take a percentage depending on the kind of damage that is there. And for 100, they take 20 rupees or whatever, and they give you the money instantly. You take that, and they go to the Reserve Bank and get an exchange and get the full refund. So in their box, there used to be these old notes. So I always used to say, in case you get called. But those days we never had mobile phones. So call was always on a landline. So when you get a call, you have to run. And I used to visit these guys in Mumbai as well, in Crawford Market. There was quite a few of them. So sometimes, in the post you'll get saying that, sir, we have this. Then we never had scans, not scanning and sending by thing. What happened? It has to be only Xerox copy.
Yeah.
So that way, once the internet came on, things started actually improving. Then I realized that there is not much information online. So I said, best is to do the book. So I did the book. So that meant going to the British Library, because they have the records of the India office. So I used to go there in the morning like a student, in the morning and 9, be there till they closed, Monday to Friday. Read up the files, make notes, come back. And then the book happened.
So this happened when?
2012.
2012.
Yeah. It happened 2012, and then 2017, one more book happened. That's when the 1 rupee was 100 years. So we had Mr. Shaktikanta Das, who was the governor of. He wasn't the governor at that time. He was the finance secretary. He had also signed the 1 rupee note. So I called him for the 100 years of the 1 rupee. Now currently I'm writing a book on the banknotes of the princely state of Hyderabad. Hopefully it's going to be launched soon.
Awesome.
So did you ever think that you would have a museum of currency notes?
Not really. This what happened is that it is so fascinating for me, because unfortunately what I did was I never collected any coins. So there was no metal. It was only the paper that was there, and it was the hardest thing to get, because even if you see he's if you go and ask a grandmom if you have any paper money, they won't have. But if you ask them to give a sovereign which is or a mohar, 200 years, they'll have it in their safe.
Yes.
Because paper had no intrinsic value, one, and second thing is that it became powder fast. So people always changed it for the current money.
So when did paper notes come into circulation?
Paper notes came into circulation around 1800s, the early 1800s. The first note of India, which is the Bank of Bengal note, because in those days the private banks were allowed to print and issue paper money. Note number 108, 4th September 1812. It's lying in the museum.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it's the 108th note
Wow.
of existence. This private banks thing went on till 1861 when Queen Victoria, after they fought with the East India Company in 1857, we were asked to go after the problem they had. So the crown took over from them. And the first thing Queen Victoria told was to go to India and have start the currency and not allow private banks. So the sole monopoly of printing notes vested with the government in 1861. So the private banks had to stop issue of. So before that, we had Bank of Bombay, Bank of Madras, and many other such banks that were there.
So the history behind it is also quite fascinating to you, I'm assuming, right?
No, because what happens is it teaches you history, teaches you learning, teaches you what happened, all the problems that were there. One very nice story is that, in 1935, King George V died.
Okay.
His older son, who was Edward VIII, became the king. So they were already started because when he took over, with the new monarch, notes had to be done, had to be printed. So as they were getting ready, he actually got married to Wallis Simpson. Wallis Simpson was already married. She was a divorcee.
Okay.
So then, and she didn't have blue blood. So they told him that if you are going to continue to marry her, then you have to leave the kingdom.
Okay.
And what he did was he married her. It's the only case in history where a king gave up his kingdom for the love of his life, and he moved to France. His younger brother, King George VI, took over. He was the man till we had our independence in 47. And just for you to know, King George VI's daughter was Queen Elizabeth. So if Edward VIII was the king, we wouldn't have had King Charles and we wouldn't have had Queen Elizabeth at all.
So how did the birth of the museum happen?
So this, whilst the book was happening, a lot of people, first thing was the book also helped because, all the pictures or the images that are there in the book are all mine.
Okay.
They didn't belong to anybody else, except maybe very few, which I got from whoever, and I've given credit to those people. So it was nice. So people says, it's there in the book, can we see them? So I would invite, but that would mean that guy was spending 3-4 hours within the office and going through the albums. And so I said the best thing is to start a museum. So we first looked at doing it at UB City. Then it was Whitefield in Shantiniketan, Prestige Shantiniketan. Then when we were building this office, I said, it can't be better than having it in the same building because, whenever you feel like you can walk down as well. So this happened. And from a small space, it became a big space. And now it's the talk of the world.
Absolutely. Had a cousin of mine visiting from the US, and the first thing that she, in her itinerary, one of them was the museum. And I never realized it's that big. But then she was telling me a few of her friends, when they come to Bangalore, it's always Vidhan Sauda, Kavanpa, and the museums included that too.
No, and also what happened is when we opened the museum in 2020,
Yes, sir.
And within 2 weeks of opening of the museum, COVID hit. We had to close. And for nearly a year, what happened, it was close, open. And being an office building, we didn't want people from outside also to come in.
Yes.
So we stopped publicity of the museum as well. We didn't really promote it. And still we have not promoted. But however, now that museum's got a good kind of organic growth and organic publicity it's got, and a lot of people do come.
Yeah.
We also have a lot of school kids that come here and learn something and go away. And I must tell you that in very short period, I said that in 2010, I'm saying it again, before anyone knew that in 2020 or 2022 there will be digital money. He said there will be a time when We won't have paper money, and it'll all be using. I couldn't say the word digital. It'll be through your mobile phone.
Yes, sir.
So I said, even if you have to give money to a charity or money to a beggar, he'll have to have a QR code. Otherwise, you won't be able to pay him. And he also has to. He has to have a phone.
So how do you what is your opinion on digital currency?
No, it's very good. Only thing is, it is a lot of people don't like it because there is it's invasion of privacy. Because it tracks you it tracks everything that you do.
Yeah.
Yes,
Every money that you spend is tracked.
So does it again, you're very passionate about paper notes. Do you sometimes feel that it kind of hurts you seeing the world move away from it?
Not really, but what it has done is that it can't move. It will not.
Yes, sir.
It will not be eliminated. But there will be that 80-20. See, a lot of people use plastic card for a long time.
Yes.
Now we don't use plastic card at all. Stop. It's only through your phone.
Yes, sir.
And now your credit card also can be linked to your phone now.
Yes, sir.
Earlier, it was only that you had to have money in your account, then only you could pay. Now, you can get credit as well on your digital money.
Yes, sir. That's true.
So you're interested in all kinds of collectibles because we were going through your...
No. I only do, good, you saw that, good observation, but I only collect paper money and that's it, nothing else. These things what you saw, some coins that are there, and if you notice, all coins are of animal theme. The reason is that, I wanted to get my grandkids activated into something.
Okay.
So whenever they come, I say, these are yours. When you grow big, I'm going to give it to you so that, so it will be like a starter kit for them as well.
Yes, sir.
Because, my kids don't collect.
Okay.
They don't not collect. When I say collect paper money, they collect other things. So I want to get them interested in this.
I noticed some cartoons, coins, and some
Correct.
pictures.
Correct.
So how often do you go down to the museum and just...
No, it all depends on how often I like to go. The day I get stressed, I go there.
Yes.
I have VIP guests that come. I take them down.
Yes, sir.
We get. Recently, we had the Consul General of Japan.
Okay.
And even the current governor of Reserve Bank came. I took them. Now a lot of people from the press, where they print money, they come.
Yes.
So when they come, it's nice to take them and show them around.
It's very fascinating.
Yeah. So we've covered your student life, we've seen your business growth and your currencies and everything. What do you think is now the next passion for you, or like a future goal, a future vision?
Actually, nothing really. That is, whatever the future vision would be, there has to be something that's challenging.
Okay.
Yeah, something that challenges you, I would like to take it up. But just now, I don't see anything that comes by. And what comes by, you don't really work towards it. It comes by accident. Like collecting money or collecting currency note also came by accident.
Yes, sir.
It didn't happen by design. It happened by accident.
But I love that about your story, sir, because you said that even real estate for you started by selling that one property, you realized,
Correct.
and then again with currencies. So are you just waiting for that one more?
We don't know, what would come and what would take your interest. Even photography was not my passion or whatever. It's just that because you wanted to get out in the morning and breathe fresh air. What was the thing? Was that okay? Carry the camera and go to the outdoors. And you come back also because there's no time limit.
Yes, sir.
You leave early at 6, come back by 8, and no one knows that you've gone and come back as well.
So how have you managed to do so much? Like everything that you've like entered, you've done remarkably well in it. And a lot of people, they get into one thing and then they're like, I can't do anything else.
No, that is the thing. You can't be jack of all trades. You have to be focused in life. Focus on anything that you do and persist on it. It is hard. I told you this earlier as well. It's very hard that if you focus on something and then you be at it, it looks boring in the beginning, but over time, as you keep succeeding, then you get the joy that okay, I'm growing there, and you grow into it. That's what it is. Maybe what I'm saying it easily, but there were a lot of trials and tribulations on the way as well.
Because in our generation, we are the kind of folks that get bored very easily.
Yeah.
even if you see job turnovers, people are every 2-3 years are leaving. So for us to have that kind of mentality would be very important to fully
Yes,
invest.
exactly. So if you are more focused on what you're doing, whatever you do, it's like somebody went and asked that guy in Japan, he was sweeping. He said that my passion is to sweep well. So if you can do whatever you're doing
Yes.
passionately, it will come. And if you're doing it little differently than the others that are doing it, you have a bigger head start. Because everyone wants instant results, like instant coffee, 2-minute noodles,
10-minute delivery.
10-minute delivery, exactly. So that doesn't happen. You have to. So when you spoke of delivery, when I was
Yes,
in the shop,
Yeah.
I was asked to go to the post office and do a registered post. We were sent with the cash to the bank to go and deposit the cash. Somebody gave you a check. You know how the check had to be banked.
Yes, sir.
So these things you learn. See, if you hadn't done it, you won't know how to run your business.
So a strong understanding of the fundamentals is what could lead to.
To your success.
Yes.
Whatever fundamentals you do, strong fundamental will give you the success. So if you've learned something today, follow it.
Yes.
Be focused. Be there. But if you ask me, at this age, what do you do? I'm saying go have fun. Because this is the year, time and age that you'll have it. Because once you get responsible, you don't have time.
Yes, sir.
But don't forget that you have to be focused in what you're doing. Because if you're focused and having fun, it's perfectly all right. It's not the marks that are important. It is where your focus is taking you to.
Yes, sir. So I have a question. So just going back a little bit to your beginning, like how was your childhood like?
No, we were very naughty. We used to fly kites more or less every day. We had a 2-storied home. Go to the terrace and fly kites, play marbles. We used to play hide and seek. So it was just like any, because these are the outdoor games that our children don't play, because anytime they get, they're only watching TV or
Yes.
playing on the mobile phone.
So on the Prestige podcast, Brick by Brick, I think in one part you mentioned that during your school days, after you finished school, you would go to your grandfather's shop.
Yes. We would go to the grandfather's shop. It was called Green Shop.
Yes, sir.
And because otherwise we were creating hell for the neighborhood. So said go there, at least you are away from mischief and being naughty. So
What was your favorite memory from your childhood? If you had to just give us one.
no, the favorite memory is that every part of my body is broken.
So tell us more about that.
Yeah. Every part of my body is broken. I've broken my hand, I've broken my wrist, I've broken my leg, I've broken my back. I fell down and I've cracked my skull. So, but all the time we never went to any hospital or whatever. My mom would call my dad or send someone, because those days no mobile. You
Yes,
had to send someone to the store. And we were living on Infantry Road to Commercial Street. Was not bad, not far.
Yes, sir.
He would come on his scooter and he would get very angry. But we would go to the Puttur shop and get that thing done and go back home. No plaster cast, no X-ray, nothing.
So how did you break your?
No, fallen down from trees.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I think that's something that we don't have now.
No, we don't have. We had a guava tree. There used to be one kind of a bridge connecting the house to the dining area at the back.
Yes, sir.
Like one. So from the first floor there used to be a tree that was adjoining. So I would cross from there to onto the tree and come down. I think one branch dried. So when I kept my foot, the branch broke and I was down. Then Puttur.
So was it only you or your brothers?
No, always same. Always same. We are all outdoors only.
Yeah.
So do you miss that about Bangalore? Those kind of houses?
No, we do miss, but only I miss for the kids, because they are all inside.
Yeah.
So now for them, my grandkids, we call them activities. Send them to football, go for karate class.
Yes, sir.
We never had any class like that. After class is over, it is just fun with the neighbors and the kids.
So it's been great listening to you about everything from your journey, about the business, about the currency. Adnan and I have a joint question for you. Today, say someone or our dads gave us, 5 to 10 crores or anything, how would a student start a business? Or more
We
specifically,
leave the 5 to 10 crore part. So like,
okay,
if a student were to come up to you and just ask you for business advice,
yeah,
like what advice would you give him?
See, any business, no, if it's planned business, it's difficult to say
Yes, sir.
because you only have to keep an eye on what is the need. Like this morning, I saw something like how you spoke of the 10-minute delivery.
Yes.
yeah,
They started something now, 10-minute maid.
Okay.
You enter your address, Snapbit or something it's called,
okay,
and a maid comes to your house. You want to cook comes to your house. So,
Yeah.
see, what I'm saying is it's just a thought. Whether
Yes,
it's going to work or not is a separate story. But the fact is that, today an idea, don't say that all the ideas are taken. They're not taken at all.
Yeah.
So the ideas are taken, and if you're committed in doing what you're doing, you're sure to succeed. And always think of something that is more practical and convenient rather than thinking, something very very high and something unreal. Then it won't happen. Then you feel, I've tried and it didn't succeed.
So if you were to start a like let's say you could be 21 again, and if you were to start a business today, like what kind
I'll
of
tell
business would you
you.
start?
What happened is when I was not 21, when I was only 12, we had to go to the store.
Yes, sir.
We had no choice. And go there and, be the salesman. We were given that it is a cloth tied to a stick, and he says, all that needs to be dusted. It's called a duster. Go dust it, go to the post office. We had octroi in those days, go to the octroi office. So we never had any such dreams of doing something. And then from there you move to college. From college I went to one store on 360 square feet, 15 by 24.
Yes.
One small Rabinate theatre complex in the basement. I was there from 75 to 81. And this thing about buying and selling happened by default, resale.
Yes.
This flipping as they call it. So what comes your way, we don't know. It's only that when something comes your way, you pursue it. That's all. You pursue it and make it happen. There are a lot of people who are still flipping, buying apartments
Yeah.
and selling, buying land
Yeah.
and selling. People are there that are getting into shares. But point is, whatever I'm saying is the easy way. You also have to do something that is the hard way. Yeah. That requires persistence. I used to work from 9 to 9, 365 days. So.
How do you find the discipline to do that, sir?
No, it comes. Once you succeed and once there is responsibility, then that discipline automatically comes. Because currently, I think we have nearly more than 100,000 people, or maybe more, who are dependent on us. I can't be indisciplined because if I am, then their families will go down.
so it's been absolutely.
Before we conclude, I want you to. So before we conclude, then, so Aram and I were deciding the intros yesterday, and he had come up with this thing about it's a monopoly example. Can you tell that?
So usually when we start off our podcast, we introduce our guest. And for you, we had something just very simple. It came to me in the shower. It was going to be, today we're accompanied by Rezwan Razack sir. And if there is one man that you could say has played Monopoly with the whole of India, it would be sir, with the way he's gone about with real estate.
I played Monopoly quite a bit, and I tell that to my brother only because he was passionate in playing Monopoly, and he would build a hotel there, build one train station here, build a hospital there. He was always the guy who was get upset if he lost, and we played quite a bit of it. Maybe playing Monopoly has helped in this. Try Ludo. We don't know where it's going to take you.
I love that, sir. I think with that we can conclude.
Thank you.
It's been
Thank you.
absolutely
Thank you.
great.
Thank you so much.